Pheasant. Trying to get the right mixture of brown and so it's kind of like a tan color. And I need enough of it. It's kind of difficult because I gotta mix it together, and I mix the dubbings together to get the right color I want. So it's kind of difficult. It's like I almost got it, kind of like I want it. It's like a tan brown. I hear the hawk outside. Eagle or bird of prey or the heard him out there. Okay, let's see. Oops, bump stuff. What we're trying to do is get. Don't really need to do a loop, but I kind of want to do one on this one. Trying to tuck that thread underneath there. If that makes any sense. Right there. Wire out the way. Yep, birds are going crazy out there. They don't like that. There's a bird of prey outside. They're going crazy. They don't like that. Blue jays going crazy out there. I can hear him. He's like, get out of here. It's funny. He's like, get this bird out of here. Bird of prey out there. I don't know if I want to put that much in or if I want to put more. Not sure how I feel about it. Not sure. I want to do that or I want to put more in here. Decisions. I need to put enough in there. toothbrush to try to get it ruffled up. Use a toothbrush. That's my brush. Do it homemade. And this is basically just gonna be. This is a gonna be like a Skip Morris. Basically, this is gonna be a Skip Morris like Mayfly Nymph. Basically, Skip Morris Nymph. Basically, just kind of like my little version of it. And we're gonna see how it comes out. I don't want to unwrap, so trying to decide how I want to do it. I bet you want to show back. Let's do it right here. We're gonna wrap it one time right here, just to kind of, just so I know. So I know where my shell back's gonna be. Actually, you know what? I might even just do it like this too. I'll do it one time right there. And then there's one way to do it. This is probably not how it was intended to be done, but this is how I'm gonna do it. Push the shell back, and do like this. Take a look at it on top. The glue don't look too bad. First time trying one of these in many years. Well, we need to get because we want it to stay. This one's kind of funny because try not to pull the tail out. The tail out of it. Okay. So I'm just trying not to pull the tail out of it because this is going to be tipped back. But first we got to do this. We're trying to keep our dabbing from totally unspinning on us. Looks like it's going to try to anyway. That's kind of how that goes. I'm going to go all the way up here like this. Take it right there. Should be fine. And then let's see if we can do it. A little bit of a challenge. Maybe I should do the other way. Let's do it the other way. Yeah, it's gonna look better the other way. This is the challenger. Here's getting this wire. Just to cooperate with us. Very close to losing it. Super close. Oh, there it is. So hard to see that wire in there with all that hair. It's like the same color of the hair. So we're gonna do this. Go like this. We gotta go underneath. Be easier if I had a clip for this, but I don't. So I kind of see. I was hoping that wouldn't have done that, but I'll make it work. So I'll make it work. Yep. Maybe we have to use pliers because it came off where we didn't want it to, the wire. It did that where we didn't want it to do that at. So we're going to save it just to make sure it doesn't. It's so hard to see that because the copper wire matches that dubbing so good. Like, I'm having such trouble seeing it. Where did it go? It's like hiding from me. It's hiding from me. Where did it go? It's definitely holding it down, but where did it go? I lost it in the dubbing. Isn't that funny? And I pulled on the wire, and it's like holding it down really good. That's crazy. Where did it go? Like, I lost it within the dubbing. That's a first. Well, that is a first ever. And it's gluing itself down. That's weird. I guess that's how it was meant to be. That's crazy. All right, we're in a roll with it. We're gonna see how it comes out. We're gonna roll with it. We're gonna just go over the top then, like this, underneath. Yeah, that's weird. That's never happened before to me. Yeah, still looks alright. That's weird though. That's a first for me. Oh, wrap it back on itself and see how it goes. Yeah, like right there. Well, it's definitely gonna have like a true shell back to it now. Not exactly how I expected this to turn out, but okay. Gonna have to build this up now. That's crazy. Did that. Not even purposely. Huh. Alright. We're gonna glue that though. That's crazy. It just said this is how it's supposed to go. Okay. Alright. I can dig it. I can dig it. See, sometimes you're like, that's not how I meant it to be. But it's taking on its own thing. This nymph is taking on its own thing. I'm sure I tie another one. It's gonna be different. I'm not gonna be fighting with this thing like this. But it's just funny how that did that, and I was like, okay, that's where you want. Okay, that's where it wanted to go. I'm like, all right, I suppose. I'll go back in and do some glue on it later in a second. And I want it to hold it down a little bit, so I'm gonna get some of it up over there. All right, that's crazy. That is wild. That is really wild that it did that. All right. All right, then we're just gonna wrap it in. That is wild. Okay, I'm accepting that it just wanted to go where it wanted to go. There you go. It just wanted to do what it wanted to do, and I'm just gonna have to accept it. Just like a lot of things that happen in this world, sometimes you just have to be like, that's how that's gonna be. And nothing you can do about it. Right there. I think I'm gonna tie it up. One more. Can we do it? One more. We're gonna tie it. I think we're gonna tie it over here. We can get it to cooperate. So I'm bracing my finger up against the hook eye and putting tension on it. Kind of a little limbo two-step. Cool. It should hold it down when I cut this loose. Pull this back. Kind of trim in there. Try not to cut your thread. Even the pros, I was watching a thing last night. He was like, oh, you almost got the thread. And I was laughing. I was like, oh, okay, you're not the only ones. You know, these guys been tying a lot longer than me. And they're like, ooh, you almost caught the thread, man. I just started laughing. I said, yep. And he's like, oh, almost, you almost did it. He almost cut the thread. It was really funny that the other guy was like, hey, you almost cut the thread. He's like, I thought you did. He's like, no, me? No. And then they did like a vote on who did the better, who tied the same pattern better. Like, and they both had their own way of tying the same type of pattern, but it was just, it looked a little different. But it was they both caught fish with that same thing, but they just designed, they did variants basically. They did a variance on their pattern. It was really funny. He was like, no. Okay, so we got that. I don't really like how the head of this is looking, but I think I just need to kind of trim on the top, not cut the threads like you said. Like I'm talking about. Just trying to get some of that out of the way because that's gonna tie it down. Okay, so then we're gonna do our shell back over top. Hold on, if we can get it. I'll get up and look at it. There's our shell back. Two. Gotta keep it down. Here we go. Let's see if we can get that little. Don't put too much up there. Just want to get in that thread. Because sometimes those shellbacks, when they're holding their over all that dubbing, they will pop loose. You'll almost be done with it, and they will pop loose on you, and it's not a fun. And then you're kind of mad because your pattern don't look like you want it to. So now I'm trying to just get the head of this nymph like tied in and get it kind of clean if I can. Looks pretty good. There's a little spot like right up front, like right there. Then we're gonna try to even it out here. There. There's the little head of the nymph. We're done with it. This is like a little kind of like a tan colored nymph. Right there. Cool. Looks good. There's that, and then I don't know if that's gonna help. use a hook, a fish hook, and pick this out a little bit. But it's pretty much a done pattern. But if you look on, so there's it is from the top. We're gonna do a little bit of trimming to it. Before I glue it down, take it out. Do a little bit of trimming because you can see it's a little crazy looking, but we're gonna trim a little bit right there, a little bit right there around the hook, a little bit. We got a loop right there. We're gonna tie that in. Okay. One more thing to this, and I had to. Their loop by loop tried to come out of this, so I had to retie this. Tie a couple more wraps back on because the loop tried to come out on loop itself, and we don't want that. See, sometimes it just don't. You don't quit. These flies don't come up quite like you want them, and then you gotta. Even though I already tied this down, I gotta do it again. But this is basically like a Jim Morris Nymph, basically. Yeah, I didn't want to have to do this like this, but I have to because it wanted to not cooperate with me. So. Alright, I trimmed it a little bit. You can see kind of like there's that part. Pluck at it a little bit. This is the synthetic dubbing too. It's not the real. I usually use hair's ear for this, but I'm using like the synthetic. Sometimes you gotta kind of trim it and play with it to get it to cooperate with you. If you look at it. And there you go. You can see the shell back. Now it sticks out, and I want it to kind of stick out outside. So you just kind of sometimes you have to kind of. You want it to kind of stick out a little bit on the side, stick a little bit on this side. You know, you might have to manipulate that a little bit to get the look you want. You know, you know, with the hair, it's already gonna do it, but with this stuff, you kind of might have to play around with it. There, now it sticks out like I want it to. Now I can just kind of play with trimming it. a little bit and clean it up. Kind of just like a hare's ear nymph. But there you go. You can see the shape. Now it's taking shape. And then you can see underneath. But that's the, it's a little different when we use it than synthetic dubbing than it is when you use the real hair. I think it came out looking pretty good though. But this is a Jim Morris nymph basically. It's just using the synthetic. So you gotta, it's kind of like I have to give it its buggy nymph look by trimming it and manipulating the dubbing, as you can see. Now it's taking shape, just like a run made out of hair. Now it's taking shape, and you can see looks pretty good now. It's just giving it a haircut to get the shape you want. And you can only do so much before it doesn't look like it's supposed to. But that's pretty good. Pretty good. And then on the tail, see there's that little piece right there. You don't even have to do this. The mayflies usually have a split in their tail, back in the tail. So you can take this and you can do that same thing with this too. So you can flip it. I'm gonna do it like this so maybe you guys can see it. Let's see. You can do it. I'm gonna hold them apart like this. There you go. So now it has a split. Trying to get that last little piece out of there. There we go. So now, and we got some hair kind of getting in the way. Let's see if we can get that too. Doing many surgeries on these flies like this. Though you can barely make that out. I did it anyway, just to show you what you can do. And this is kind of how you're supposed to tie this one. Kind of did it a little different in some aspects. But, alright, there we go. Glue. And we're done with this nymph. So nymphs are fun. The nymphs are supposed to be one of the easier, or technically one of the easier flies to tie. It's one of the ones I started out with, besides like attractor patterns. That's why I like attractor patterns so much when it comes to these kind of stuff. It's morning time, so people cooking. Y'all can hear the food cooking. And everybody's waking up. I've been up though for a bit, but everybody else is starting to wake up. Okay, so there's that. Got our glue in. Where's my little deal? But we're done with this pretty much. Yeah, I don't do everything extra perfecto like some say we should. But when the finished product comes out to look about the same, you know, my hand's different than someone else's hand. Their hand is different than mine. You're in the green when it comes to that. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're all done. That's a Jim Morrison, like kind of like a tan light nymph. You can make them dark, you can make them lighter, you can make a mixture, you can change the hues of these things, and that's basically like a little mayfly nymph. I don't know if you can see that split tail in there as I spin it. Let's see if I can get it a little closer for you. But yeah, see the little split tail in there? And there's some little mayfly. You can see there? Mayfly. You see the split? It's hard, the lighting's kind of weird right here. But you can see the little split in the tail. You know, stuff trying to light on here. I can see like little, that's what I was talking about earlier when I was on one of the flies. I was trying the little stuff kind of floating around and trying to land after you cut everything. But that's a mayfly. It's like a nymph, basically, a light one. You can see it. There's the split tail. It's a little split. You don't really have to do that, but that really makes it look even more closer to one of those. You know. Yeah, you can see it. See the little tail. Boom. There's the shell back. It's a nymph. Alright, y'all. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.